energy. You're just more productive.
Definitely. So I mean, that's something I think everyone out there could kind of take home. It's like, yes, we are here speaking with a celebrity personal trainer, Gabriel, who's a professional athlete, but this is something I think everyone could take home and build off of, because all of us need, I mean, at least majority of us out there probably need some type of athletic help. And today it is, I mean, an epidemic in the United States, the obesity problem across the board. So utilizing different types of exercises like HIIT training, I mean, can take you to that level. Just like Gabriel said, it's something that even in his own personal life, he notices, I mean, just better energy levels, probably better clarity as well. So just want to kind of bring it to Rob for a moment. I know you definitely have always been very heavily involved in kind of the fitness arena as well, especially I think from kind of a weightlifting, bodybuilding side as well. How would you compare HIIT training to bodybuilding in terms of just overall performance from like an athletic standpoint?
Okay, well, bodybuilding is a little bit different than, let's say, what Mario does. Bodybuilding is less of the like HIIT training type style. Like powerlifting is not like a bodybuilding sport. There's definitely different lines between, let's say, powerlifting, boxing, and bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is more of a like a sculpture type genre, right? Powerlifting is more of just getting it. They don't care what they look like. They just want to get the weight up. And boxers are more like HIIT trainers. You got a 3-minute round and you want to just explode in those 3 minutes, or sometimes you're exploding for like 30 seconds. But that is more, I would say that HIIT training hits the more of the interval of boxing. You know, you're punching, you're hitting that, and then you're backing off and you're protecting yourself, then you're going in, and right? Am I close? So HIIT training is more bodybuilding and let's say powerlifting are definitely a little bit different, or a little bit further away from the HIIT training aspect. Now, I did a show, you know, Biohacker TV. So I'm talking about, you know, I come from the biohacking, like what products will get you the most results out of what you want to do. As far as my athletic, it would be snowboarding, which is you're going down the hill and you got like, let's say 2 minutes to get down the hill. That takes a lot of energy. It's not just gliding down the hill. It's more like HIIT training, right? Same thing with jet skiing competition, which I did for a long time. It takes a lot of holding on and torquing your body in different ways that, you know, and your trainer will probably touch in on that. It's definitely a HIIT trains type style, but there is definitely a clear line between fitness, you know, your fitness, or your guys who are boxing or doing any other kind of aerobic activity compared to, let's say, powerlifting or bodybuilding. Those aren't really aerobic, you know, activities. So that's kind of where I'm looking at.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah. Well, what I like about HIIT training is, I mean, you can get really creative with it. You don't even need a gym necessarily, and anyone can really do HIIT training. All you need is your own body weight. Like it just depends of how creative you are and what you want to achieve. But I mean, you can do anything from just squats, squat jumps, sprints, push-ups. It's just about working at a max effort, you know, and resting for a short period of time for a number amount of rounds.
And I like that idea too, because I'm looking at HIIT training to be more of a more natural to the human as far as evolutionary point of view. Because in an evolutionary point of view, you would need those explosive movements to actually move, you know, forward in life, right? To kill food, you need that run. Mm-hmm. Even though from an evolutionary point of view, man can outrun any animal. We may not be able to do it as fast, but we can run longer lengths of time. I mean, that's just evolution, right? Am I right, Devin?
I would completely agree with you. I'd say that's what's probably drew me towards the type of training that Mario does the most, is just the fact that it does kind of make you this superhuman type of person. I mean, for myself, I've never ever cared to be like a big muscular type of person. That's just not who I am. I mean, it'd be cool, but it's not really my kind of goal in life. But I definitely have always wanted to be healthy, always have wanted to be athletic. I mean, if it comes that time, shit, I have to run 6 miles. I mean, I want to be able to do so. I don't want to be able to just sit on a couch all day long. And I mean, that is, I mean, unfortunately, with some of the other types of sports out there, almost don't even become athletic. I mean, I hate to say it, but especially working with hormone replacement therapy, I've worked with so many people that are in the bodybuilding arena, and I'd hate to say it, but yeah, I mean, they're strong. They could probably crush me with their hands, but man, shit, come after a 6-mile race against me and we'll see who wins afterwards.
The muscle's more for the girls.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
It's for the girls.
But yeah, I mean, going back to, like you said, evolution-wise as well, I mean, if that, I don't know, lion or something was out there after us, I mean, it's the guy that's doing the hit training that's going to end up winning the race eventually. Probably not that bodybuilder as well. I mean, nothing against you bodybuilders. Like I said, you can probably crush me out there, but it's just end of the day. I mean, this is...
They got to catch you first.
They got to catch me first. Exactly. So
HIIT's just a different style of workout, man. I mean, it's a great workout. It's a good way to change up your workout. For bodybuilders, I'm sure, do it as well. They just add it to one of their days of their workout. But it just has so many benefits, you know what I mean? It provides you with more stamina, it's good against diseases too, like coronary artery disease. It's good against diabetes. It's good against high blood pressure. It improves your mental health. So, I mean, there's so many benefits from it. I mean...
And I think you're right. Coming from an evolutionary point, I like to look at fitness or anything that we do as human to what got us to this point? Why have we lived so long, right? And it's because of, I'm not going to say HIIT training, but that's the style. And human would run a certain distance to kill that. But you look back at cavemen, they weren't heavy. They were athletes. They were Marine recruits. That's HIIT. The evolution demanded it. We were all super athletes to make it this far in life.
Survival of the fittest.
That's right, right? And the fittest doesn't mean, it means fit. That means being able to run that 6 miles, right, Devin?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, end of the day, evolution, if you want to bring that up, fit does not mean strong. It means the actual genes that are most likely to carry on in the given situation. So, I mean, yeah, there might be times where you have to have strength, but then also there's times that you have to run. So, I mean, whoever's able to actually evolve through those extreme examples, that's who's going to carry on to the next generation. So, I just want to go back really quick to one thing that Mario is starting to allude to, because end of the day, the topic of this show is just to regenerate your body, to actually help yourself become a better human being, better health overall. Because I mean, the thing I really preach most in my own practice is, even more than helping people that are sick in the sick care model, I like to prevent disease. I mean, that's really my whole focus. That's why I work with athletes like Gabriel over here, because we just want to make yourself better. It's fun to kind of take your body to this new level. Let's prevent disease. Let's make yourself better. So the reason why we're looking into HIIT training is, just like Mario said, it actually makes yourself healthier as well. It fights diseases out there. This is the type of training that science has proven to actually make yourself better. I just wanted to ask Gabriel for a second, because I know obviously you probably have been pretty athletic your whole life, but what do you kind of notice in terms of just preventing disease, I guess, because I mean, regardless, we're all aging in this room. What have you noticed, I mean, in terms of just the way your training has changed throughout the years, maybe that helps prevent you from potentially getting an injury, potentially getting hurt? What do you see there?
No, just being more conscious of how I train, as far as, stretching, doing all these other different things. Stretching is very important. Kind of just breathing techniques, and I just think it's a lifestyle. I think once you get into it, you're more cautious of what you eat or what you drink, you know what I mean? So it's definitely very important. It's definitely something that even when I retire from boxing, it's something I'm going to continue to do, just because I know it makes me feel better, a lot healthier, and just mental-wise as well. You're just able to focus.
Definitely. I mean, the mental, I think, is a huge, huge aspect that's often overlooked. I mean, at times when we look at fitness and training as well, because, I mean, most people just think, okay, I'm going to physically change my body. It's going to start looking better over time. Yeah. But, I mean, obviously there's a huge, huge aspect with your mental clarity. Like, I know myself, like, every once in a while, every couple of years, I just kind of fall off track with my fitness. I mean, Mario could probably contest to this. He's known me for some time, and I changed during that time. I mean, I'm less likely to go out and kind of do stuff where normally in my fit self, I mean, I'm a pretty much a go-getter. Like I do stuff all day long. There's something I want to do, I do it and just kind of keep going. But when my body's out of shape, I'm mentally out of shape as well. And then those are times where, I mean, you probably find me more on my couch at those times and going out and doing stuff. Mario, from your own end, I know you've had a period in your life as well where you probably, I mean, not probably, I know you weren't as fit as well. And I mean, how do you see yourself mentally from that time period to where you are as of today?
It's a huge difference. It's like when you're in the lifestyle where you're eating fast food every day and drinking soda and on the couch and not doing nothing is a very lethargic lifestyle. Like you're just lazy, very low energy. Obviously, my confidence was a little less because my appearance was a little, I had a little rolls on my stomach, wasn't looking too good. Wasn't looking forward to going to pool parties, none of that kind of stuff. And I'm not really used to that because I have a very athletic background and I played high school football, so I was always pretty much in shape. But there was a short period of time where I lost that, was in love, I think, and that had a big part in me gaining that weight. But when in 2011, I got in the best shape of my life, and that's when I started this fitness journey and had this vision for this Flex brand that we're building now. So I definitely feel a whole lot better now, and I'm eager to go to pool parties, eager to go to the beach. It feel good. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day, don't have a problem, work about 12 hours a day. I'm exhausted at the end of the day, but then I still make it to the gym, and once I get past those first 10 minutes, it's like I'm rejuvenated, like I'm a brand new person,
Yeah, as far as that, and this is to both you guys, and you came to a point in your life where the light switch came on, and you're like, I want to train, I want to do this. Was that when you were single at the time? Were you single at that time, or what was that marker in life?
I was. I just came out of a relationship. When I was in that relationship is when I gained all this weight, and I wouldn't say it's because I was single, but definitely it did have something to do with it. It's like I was by myself. I had a reason to push forward and get back to my old ways.
And Gabriel?
Excuse me?
Being in a relationship, is that kind of blocked you a little bit from doing things you want to do as far as your fitness goes? Do you do more when you're single, or do you do more when you're with, a woman,
Be careful with that one.
Yeah.
You should try to get me in trouble, man.
No, but you started your boxing career.
No,
you were a child,
honestly,
right?
I think I was in a relationship when I first started my boxing career. It was very hard. But I'm not gonna lie, once I went single, my career took off. And I think it's just important to focus on your goals and what you want to accomplish before you can even, before you ever commit to anything else, right? So I think once you commit to what you want to do and you set goals and you accomplish those goals, then you're able to, do what you want to do. But I think it's important to just focus on your goal, for the majority.
For sure. I think all of us need to take that out there. Nothing to bash relationships or anything, but ultimately you need to be kind of one with yourself first. And keeping your fitness up there, that's one way to kind of keep yourself you. I would say the same thing even when I was in a relationship as well. It takes time. There's effort there, even if it's a good relationship. It still takes away time from often being you. You could definitely be in a relationship where you keep yourself, but you got to focus on yourself first, because end of the day, if yourself's not whole, you're never going to be able to take it to that next level in your own professional career. Now that I am out of a relationship, I have to say there's just been day in, day out, I've just been kind of being me and doing me, and that's been taking me to new levels. That's part of the reason why I'm here doing this podcast right now, is the fact that, we have the time, I have the time, let's go out and do stuff. So, and honestly, I would not be able to do that also without fitness. Right now, my life is pretty chaotic for the most part. Not chaotic in the sense that it's something I can't handle, but just there's a lot going on in my life because I'm building my professional career right now. And if I didn't have fitness to help balance that, I mean, that's what keeps my body healthy, the thing that's able out there to actually give me my professional career. I mean, if I wasn't healthy in my body, I mean, I would not be able to probably wake up to work the amount of days that I do, the amount of hours that I do, have the energy that I have.
Well, you know, I want to. You mentioned something, both of you guys, about your meditation, right? And it was part of your, you know, your physical process, right? So you relaxed and you meditate. Do you find yourself meditating a lot to help you relax your body to get back and stretch at the same time?
Yeah. I actually read a book that Mario gave me, which is called The Mindful Athlete, that talks about meditating and getting into your zone. You know,
it's a great book.
And it's something that I do. So when I start my workout, I kind of just put some meditation music on my headphones, and I take about 10 minutes just to stretch and breathe and kind of just put myself into the zone of my workout. Because sometimes you go to the gym and you're sore. You really don't want to work out. But once you kind of put your mind into it and you meditate and you kind of put everything that you're going through like at the door and you focus on what you're going to do, your whole attitude changes and you kill the workout. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So it's something that is very important to, because people got problems. You go to the gym and sometimes you're dealing with some issues or whatever, and you really can't, you're not going to get the type of workout you want. But if you can meditate and focus and just concentrate in the moment of what you're going to do, it's kind of like it's therapy. It's really good.
Now, I want to bring this question back to Devin. As far as meditation, does it have anything to do with your hormone level? Will I be able to adjust my hormone level with meditation and relaxing my body? How is that going to help me with my hormone levels?
Definitely. I mean, honestly, I'm beyond glad that we actually dove now into this subject here. It was not something actually I was really going to go into, but I didn't even think about it when I brought on, I mean, both Gabriel and Mario today in the athletic world, but I was more going to talk about fitness. But I mean, meditation is a huge aspect. I mean, besides just the kind of let's get our heart rate up, let's get our blood moving, let's get some sweat on. I mean, we also have to look at the kind of extreme opposite, and that's cooling your body down, bringing it back to center, getting yourself at peace. And I would have to say, I mean, when we look at meditation overall, I mean, it's something that I really, really highly believe in myself. It's something, I mean, honestly, the first hour of my day after I got up and got a couple of things done, I actually went to a meditation yoga session myself today, which was something called Nadira yoga, which is a type of yoga that actually gets you into almost a deep restful type of state across the board, almost to the point where you're asleep, but you're still conscious. It's really, really an amazing practice because overall, I mean, you're just getting yourself back in line. I think many of us, especially, I mean, anyone out there that lives in a big city like ourselves, I mean, we're right in the heart of Los Angeles, which is, I mean, a chaotic city. There's noise everywhere. There's traffic. There's stressors. There's, I mean, high income rent that we have to figure out how to pay every single day. And all of this jumble that kind of keeps going through our body. I mean, as well as, I mean, having our professional careers, you have to worry about boxing someone in the day. You have to worry about seeing 15 clients throughout the day. I mean, this is stressful stuff. And if we don't take the time to kind of come back to ourselves, this is when I see many diseases manifesting as well. I mean, it brings on stress to your body, which from a hormonal aspect, just like what Rob was asking, it shoots up cortisol, which is our stress hormone in our body. This that we very well know now in science, it breaks down our body. It's a degrading hormone. It was put in us originally because, I mean, just going back to like what we were talking about earlier, the way we evolved, we were cavemen. We needed to run, and all of a sudden there'd be that lion again, and then cortisol would shoot out of our adrenal glands, and it would give us that energy really quick to move because we were stressed out. That was good stress relief because, I mean, shit, if you see a lion, you should be stressed, and that's something that's put out that helps us kind of activate. But now with all of these new stressors, and we're still human, traffic, jobs, all that kind of stuff, this cortisol is just being released all day long in our body, and it's breaking us down. Once this cortisol goes up as well, it then starts suppressing other hormones such as human growth hormone, testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, all of these things that have a very fine-tuned balance in our body. And once these get out of whack, I mean, that's when we start losing who we are. We lose our energy. We lose a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm going to throw this one to Gabriel real quick because, I mean, this is probably something that probably comes into play as well. I mean, I know just we don't have to talk about what they are, but I know there's times in your life that you've been probably stressed out and stuff. I mean, how do you see when you're kind of stressed out and trying to get in shape, trying to keep yourself going compared to when you're just mentally focused, you meditate, you're centered? How do you see that changing your athleticism?
It's definitely a big difference because, you know, in the sport that I'm in, it's all mental. You know, you got to put the work in, but it's all mental, you know. And in the past, I know that the stress of life has definitely hurt me in competition. And for example, my last fight, reading that book that I mentioned, The Mindful Athlete, it talks about breathing and getting into that zone. And in the locker room, I closed my eyes. I took in deep breaths. I just meditated in what I was going to do before I performed. And it was, I went into the fight so calm, and I pretty much destroyed my opponent. You know, I was so in the zone. I was so focused. There was nothing that, you know, regardless of what I was going through in my personal life, it just didn't affect me. You know, so I think when you take that time to just relax, breathe, meditate, you know, you definitely are going to overcome whatever is an issue in your life. And I think that where you were saying, when you allow the stress of life to get the best of you, it does physically drain you and can make you sick. I know there's been times where I've felt sick, where I'm like, why am I sick? I'm not feeling good, you know. And I think is, just not clearing your head and focusing on what you need to do.
And, I want to bring this point, and it's very important that, I look at everything from an evolutionary standpoint. Today, right now, the way we live compared to thousands of years ago, we just followed the food. And it was the men to go out, get the food, and the women were caretakers. And because we lived in tribes, we lived in small groups, and we are a social species, we didn't have a lot of these stresses that we have today. Today, we have to pay taxes. We have to drive from point A to point B without dying. We have to be able to make the hunt, which is make the money to go get the food, to bring the food home to feed our families. On top of that, guys like you got to do all that. Plus, you have to train to fight another man. And to fight somebody, I don't know how many people listening to it right now is actually, but getting in the ring, that's stressful. Because fighting another human is stressful. You can watch it all day long on YouTube, and you can see the stress between two men when they actually have to fight purposely or not. There is more stress now. Don't let the comforts of life, that means having a TV and your own cave to live in, which is your house, right? Don't let that fool you think that we have less stress now than we did 100 or 200 or 2,000 years ago, because we have more. The more responsibility we have, you own a gym. Devin owns a medical practice. You are a professional boxer. I do social media and radio. We all have different stresses, but it is more than we had thousands of years ago. And I don't think people really understand how being able to have a release from all that and put yourself in a different spot, just to forget about anything, even your sleep. Now, Devin would know that because we clear our cells in our brain generate waste, just like all the cells in your body. And when do we get rid of that waste? When we're sleeping. And that's very important. People are lax on their sleeping. They get less sleep because we have to work longer hours to make money, to feed our families, to pay the rent, to pay the taxes, to be able to fuel our car, to go to work. That just wears down the body system, and it is tough. And it's tough to be a modern day human. Devin?
Definitely. I mean, if you talk about just the stressors in life, and in going back to the show, regenerate your body. I mean, we're going to be talking about ways to actually, like I said, regenerate your body back to health. And these are things that are degenerating our body. These are things that day in, day out are actually harming ourselves. I mean, stress, even though it's kind of almost this arbitrary thing that most of us can't think about, it is something that is physically altering and physically changing our bodies. Just like Gabriel was saying, I mean, stress goes to the point where it could even start making you sick. I mean, I know I've definitely been there. I mean, there's been times that I've been so stressed out that, yeah, I end up getting sick that exact same week. And it's been very well proven now that, I mean, it does lower overall your hormone levels. It does lower your immunity. It does lower, I mean, even your libido. It just changes so much in your body when you are stressed out. So that's why it's so important to do things such as meditation, just kind of coming back to center. And I would have to say, I mean, when many people out there think of meditation as well, it's not always just this thing where you're kind of sitting doing your ohms and kind of holding your legs crossed and trying to have an outer body experience. Meditation comes in, I mean, so many different forms. I mean, it could be reading a book. It could be listening to your newest music channel that you enjoy overall, and just kind of thinking, releasing everything, all those stressors out there in life that you have, and coming back to yourself, just taking time to find your breath again. This is a reason why I've really loved the practice of yoga so much as well, is just because it not only helps your body, but it does help your mind and soul as well by kind of bringing you back to balance, because you take the time to think overall. And I want to bring this to Mario real quick, because as I was saying, Mario's a personal trainer, does a lot of the HIIT training across the board, but recently he got certified in a new form of yoga called Joga, which I'm sure they brought in some breathing aspects, some meditation aspects. How do you see now bringing yoga into your practice, these aspects of kind of meditating, maybe altering the way you take on your personal life, as well as the way you take on seeing clients and kind of training them to be better versions of themselves?
Yeah, Joga. So Joga, I just recently, just pretty much, Sunday, I got certified. I still haven't mastered the sequence, but Joga is a type of yoga designed specifically for athletes. But I believe that everyone should be doing it because, I mean, it helps your overall strength. It helps you bring awareness to your breath, which will increase clarity in your mind, and it also helps with mobility, stability, strengthens the core. It's great for preventative injury for athletes. So I really, really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to really master the sequence so that I can start teaching it. I mainly did it for Gabe right here next to me, like so that I can get him more mobile, more athletic, faster in the ring, and just more awareness to his breath and control, because that's very important in the ring, to be in control of your breath. You know, it gives you a lot more strength when you have clarity.
And I think this is a great podcast for that, because I'm definitely looking forward to the other aspects, because that's like a form of biohacking. You're training your body to deal with stressors like boxing and paying the bills and driving to work. Those are a lot of stressors, and definitely we want to, use a more natural method to be able to deal with those before we go to a chemical method. Yeah. Because I think it's important to step back and take a look at your life and find out ways to improve it. And definitely with Devin is definitely the guy and the key to being able for me to understand different ways I can attack my life to improve it naturally and holistically.
Exactly. I mean, just everyone that's listening, because I mean, we are live right now. I just want you guys out there, just take one moment and just take a breath. I mean, deep breath. I mean, you might actually just start to notice, holy crap, I'm breathing very shallowly. I mean, most of us just take these very tiny breaths all day long and never take that moment to fully engage a full breath. And I mean, as crazy and simple as that sounds, I mean, it is something that is so powerful that you just need to take a moment and bring that oxygen back in the body. Because, yeah, not only does it bring more oxygen. But this has a whole physical sequence that goes down forward from there, from getting waste out of the body to helping your body heal. I mean, it helps boost neurotransmitters in the brain that end up making you feel better. It just makes you a better person. And it's, once again, something as simple as meditating. I mean, everything that we're talking about here today is something that every single one of you could do at home for free. I mean, like Mario was saying, this high intensity interval training, it's something you could do without a gym. You could do it in your living room. Meditating, something you could do anywhere possible. I mean, you could do it in your car.
Even go for a jog is like meditating. I mean, you go for a jog, it's like, it's crazy. I mean, it's cleansing.
Now, I've experienced this the other night when I ended up in the emergency room, and they told me, you know, you got this massive kidney stone, and we're going to give you two choices. You can either do this without the painkiller, which was a super powerful painkiller, or you could do it the natural route. So I took 20 minutes, and I'm in the bed in the ER room. There's people, you know, crying and screaming and all that stuff. I chose to take deep breaths and relax. I only used a muscle relaxer. I did not use the morphine. The doctor came in here. He came in the room and he said, "You're a brave man not taking morphine." He says, most people jump right on the morphine. But I put my headphones on and I listened to some relaxing music, you know, some meditation music, and I literally just breathed. It sounded like I was giving birth. I was breathing really deep, and that moment I discovered I've been a shallow breather my entire life. How sad that is. But now I have another, you know, the rest of my life to breathe deep. And you know what? That's great. You know, that you brought that up, because I'm not the only one doing it. A professional boxer is doing the same thing that I am doing, and that's great motivation.
Yeah, going back to the breathing, and I mean, just the way that it kind of alters the way you go into something. I mean, I'll say, I just want to kind of go into something for myself and want to ask Gabriel the same question as well. I would say earlier in my own professional career, I mean, I've given a lot of speeches at conferences and whatnot throughout my life. And I would say earlier on in life, I would go into those speeches and somewhat scared. I mean, it's all right to be scared to go into something, but with being scared, I would start shallow breathing, which then would make me tense up. And then I would go into that talk like a little bit flustered, and honestly I probably did not do as well. And it's something I developed as I developed kind of my meditating aspect of my own life. It's helped me in this aspect as well, just the fact that now I could go into a speech or into a big meeting or trying to close a big deal that I'm working on, and if I do go in it by taking these deep breaths, keeping myself centered, I go into it and I have this clear state of mind, just because, like I said earlier, there is a medical reason for that. Boost your neurotransmitters, which makes you feel better. You're kind of more on point, you could say. And when I do that, I go into these meetings and I go out and I feel like, I mean, I killed it. It's a big reason I feel like my professional career has also taken off, just because I could go into something with that clarity, with that mental stability overall. And this is where I want to transition it to Gabriel as well, because I have a feeling he might say the same thing in a completely different profession. I mean, he's not going up in front and probably talking about stem cells to regenerate a knee in front of a group, but he's out there going in front of a huge crowd as well and having to take his profession into aspects. So was there a point in your career where you noticed that you probably went into it with a little bit more anxiety than now, where you might have a little bit better of a protocol to meditate before a fight?
Yeah. I think it comes with experience too. You know, being a professional for 13 years. So, you know, but now I can go into a fight and just, you know, be 100% confident. You know, it's a lot of risk. You know, I've had broken bones, detached retina, like you name it, man. I've been through it. But, you know, when you go into a fight, I think mentally prepared and just, you know, and you put yourself in that mind frame, you're going to perform, because the mind is powerful. Like our brain is a muscle. You know, if you train your brain, you know, you can do what people think is impossible, you can achieve it, you know? So I think it's just important that we do train our body and we train our muscles physically to look good, but you have to train your brain to do things as well. You know what I mean? And I think once you build that confidence, you know, it's like sky's the limit, you know? So I think sometimes we can hurt ourselves by not preparing ourselves mentally for something. But I think when you train that and you train your brain and not just your physical body, you train your brain. I think you can do a lot of things.
Yeah, I want to ask Devin, what are the repercussions physically and mentally for not doing that for life? Because it's not just a fight we got to prepare for. It's the fight of life, man. It's the fight of going to work and having to deal with your kids and having to deal with traffic, and maybe you got a ticket that day. Devin, tell me, what kind of things am I going to suffer if I don't actually prepare myself physically by breathing deep and training my brain to be able to handle those stresses?
For sure. So, I mean, just like I said, I mean, when we think of meditation, taking deep breaths, kind of getting centered with ourselves, it's not just something that is something that just feels good for us, but there is a medicinal value behind it as well. It's going to help boost our immune system. If we're stressed out, our immunity crashes, which then often diseases start to prevail. We have a more likelihood of getting sick. I mean, we live in a germ-infested world that we need our immune systems there to fight it off, and if we don't have that, we're going to get sick. Our hormones are going to decline. The major signals that float around our body that overall just help us restore tissues, rebuild, regenerate ourselves. I mean, with that said, I mean, once our hormones are depleted, we might not have the energy that we used to. I mean, a huge disease that is now coined in the medicinal world is something called adrenal fatigue that's out there. And I mean, so many of us have this. This is where our adrenal glands, like I said, emitting that hormone cortisol again is just at an exponential rate because it's just constantly going all day long with all these stresses that we're talking about. And then that starts to give us adrenal fatigue, which, yes, actually breaks down tissues in the body, but causes us fatigue. It makes us tired. I mean, I could contest, I mean, weeks that I'm stressed out, I mean, I have no energy afterwards. It's crazy. I mean, no matter what I do, even if I eat right, do exercise, if I'm stressed out, that has such a physical toll on my body. So that's why it's so important to get into meditation. And so so just want to keep it centered with ourselves. So that's something that's so important here. So I just want to we're going to be wrapping up the show here pretty shortly, but just want to go through kind of our last topic here really quick, just kind of wrapping things up and just talking about meditation, talking about fitness, just talking about ways to kind of maximize overall our performance and selves, and just everyone out there listening. This is not something that is just for the people in this room that are professional athletes or professional trainers. This is something that every single one of us needs to do in some type of form. So I hope this can be some type of motivation for everyone out there, because if you just take these simple steps of living a healthier lifestyle through fitness, through meditation, just ways of kind of helping heal your body that could all be done for free in your own living room. Just go out there and do it, because this is stuff that not only is going to make you look better, but it's going to help you stop from getting sick later down the road. I mean, that's something that I feel like is the most important. Like I said, my practice is primarily in preventative care. If we're preventing disease, that has such a huge issue on the body. I mean, we all know people out there that are sick. Probably you probably have a relative or friend or someone out there today that you could probably, or even maybe yourself, that probably has cancer or is obese or has at least high cholesterol or something out there. And these could all be eradicated if we just take the time to meditate, if we take the time to work out overall. So I want to bring it back to Mario one more time before we wrap up here really quick, and just kind of ask you, with your clients that you work with, do you notice that once they kind of follow all of these instructions, just overall their whole lives change as well, just for the average individual out there?
Definitely. Anyone that comes in either out of shape or just someone just getting started, within a few weeks, once they start noticing their body change, or not only their body change, but their overall stamina change, or maybe even their mental clarity change, or not even that, maybe even just immediately right after the workout, they feel so much better than when they came in the room. It's an amazing thing to see or witness, for sure.
Now, I got a question. So what can I do at home, or what can the listener do at home just to start? Like, let's say they don't belong to a gym. Right. Can they do the HIIT program? What do you recommend for somebody to just start that, like out of the blue?
I mean, there's so many things someone can do. I mean, someone can literally a easy workout could be, let's see, 5 exercises. They can start with regular squats, and they can time themselves for 30 seconds to 1 minute and continue to work with the squats for that time. And then immediately go into burpees and do like burpees for 30 seconds. No rest. Go next to squat jumps. So literally just squat and jump.
Now
And
can you use like a broom or something, or
you can
something to
use
squat with, or
whatever you like, or your own body weight, because you're going to do about 3 to 5 different exercises consecutively. So, I mean, it doesn't matter if you use weight or not. You can use your own body weight. You could go right into jumping jacks and then mountain climbers. So you pick about 5 exercises that you can easily do inside your home or outside in your backyard, anywhere, literally anywhere, and work at your max effort for 30 to 60 seconds. Rest for about 20 seconds. You want to rest minimal. And there you go.
and then how many reps or how many sets would I do?
So about 3 to 5 rounds.
Okay.
Of 5 exercises, working from 30 to 60 seconds each exercise. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And yeah, you would work at your max effort. So,
your max effort. So
max effort.
80% or more.
Exactly. 85% or more.
Okay,
Exactly.
great.
And it only has to be under 30 minutes, no more than 30 minutes. It depends on your fitness level too. Like someone like Gabriel would be able to do a lot longer, 45 minutes. I'll have him do 45 minutes of HIIT if we have to.
Well, better him than me.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, I mean, as you guys all can see, I mean, there's definitely just tons we could talk about in terms of fitness, your health overall, and we're definitely going to be having some more shows out there. I'm going to be bringing both of these guys on for some more guest appearances down the road as well, where we could dive into some more of these subjects and some more matter, but just kind of take home the overall message of what we were here tonight to kind of talk about is fitness, and fitness in a new way that we really just wanted to outline, that this has such a physical aspect on our bodies that really takes a medical toll on ourselves. I mean, it's not something just always for the athlete, not just for something that someone's wanting to cosmetically look a little bit better, but this is something that once you do start overall, it's actually going to help you prevent disease. It's going to help cure disease. It's going to help you go from obese to being more fit, which then helps your heart health. I mean, your liver. I mean, there's just so many benefits if you follow both meditation and fitness. So just want to kind of give everyone out there that was listening, just if you want to kind of follow each one of us here as well to learn a little bit more, please go check out Mario's page. His Instagram is his best. It's Mr. MVT Fit. Go check it out if you want to learn how to do some of these HIIT trainings. He has tons of videos on there. He's a great person to follow to see what's going on there. Or you could check out his app as well, Flex60, PHLEXX60.com. Then Gabriel as well. He has a big fight coming up this year. Definitely look out for this and the progress as well. Gabriel's Instagram as well is King Gob, G-A-B, Rosado, R-O-S-A-D-O. Check him out. It's always fun to watch him as he gets ready for these fights because it's a huge, huge transformation that many of us would not like to go through. So, I mean, if anything, this could help give you some motivation as well. And then also just want to lastly say thank you to Rob as well and all the guys here at Kaotic Radio for having us on the show tonight. Hope everyone is able to learn something, and going on in the future, we're just going to have many more of these topics.
The very first part I got I lost my shit. He's always he's getting interviewed all the time, every day. Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's tough, and doing this for a living is. For me, it's natural. For me,
it's fun, bro. Oh shit! Honestly, bro.
But you get used to it, and then the next podcast will definitely better. It just evolves. You know what I mean? And things evolve, and just like your life will
Yeah,
evolve.
yeah.
You know, you never know what you're going to be doing in 5 years. You know,
What's the name of your podcast?
So, well, mine's a little different because you
Yeah.
know it was Toxic Underground Live, and we still
Okay.
kind of do that, but it's
Yeah.
Red Pill Radio
Yeah.
right now, and we just talk about like fun stuff. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
fitness.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a YouTube channel, Biohacker TV, where I talk about fitness hacks.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Things from like let's say a boxer, like the hack,
Yeah.
chemically hack. I don't know if they test for it, but like Dose X increases your reflexes.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, the quickness, the way you move your body and stuff.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
That's not legal in what you do.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean? You don't get caught doing that. But that's the kind of, you know, biohacking stuff.
There's levels to podcasts, huh? There's people. There's people that you can make a good profit off that, right?
I mean, eventually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you're Joe Rogan,
Yeah, if you got
Yeah, yeah,
millions
yeah.
of listeners,
yeah, but every podcast starts out with
Like
0
this.
listeners.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it builds up. Like here we have a format where, like on my show tonight, I had over 5,500 people listening to my
Yeah,
show
that's
tonight.
good.
So, and that's just my show. My
That's
show
good.
will rerun twice a week.
Okay.
And then there's other shows too, but our demographic at the station.
And when you do your show, is it on video or is it just
yeah, it's so there's a couple cameras in here that goes
so
on
people
YouTube.
could tune in like on a YouTube or something?
Yeah, right. So
Yeah.
they can get on YouTube or
Yeah,
they get
gotcha.
the app, which is free.
That's dope.
And we're gonna be on iHeartRadio soon too.
Oh, dope, dope,
So,
dope.
and then we're changing one of these rooms into a studio. Like
Yeah, yeah.
A studio. That's like my part of this business. Is,
Yeah.
Is trying to do more video stuff with the
Yeah.
streaming. And the great thing about the future of internet radio and the 5G coming out is
Yeah.
a lot of people have, they can stream it from their car to their phone or
Mhm.
vice versa. And so while they're driving in traffic, that's why my show, we plays 6 o'clock drive time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So these spots are now filling up. You know,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
people are stuck in their car, they're
Yeah.
listening to something.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
radio. People have no idea that so many people listen to radio. It's the hugest format, and as long as you're in the car, it always will be.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's dope.
which is really cool, you know. And that, you know, it's the future. I mean, and also, of course, the great thing about radio is, and how we sell ads is, and it's very important. It's called shelf of mind advertising. So the more I say Metro MD, you know, testosterone, Metro MD, testosterone. When you or somebody else thinks of, man, you know, maybe I should have my doctor. The first thing that comes to mind is Metro MD. You have to, it's association game. You have to put that in there, plant that seed, let it grow. That's how really advertising works. Advertising in a movie, product placement, not the best format
Yeah.
because it's only seen once. With radio, it's heard over
Yeah,
and
yeah.
over and over again. And that's what makes it the best seller
Yeah.
is radio and video, right? You associate a face with a
Yeah, yeah.
product. That's why athletes make so much money, like these popular athletes make so much money because they see that face and associate that with that product,
Yeah.
right? So I got hit up by a car dealership yesterday.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you got to come down and make a video. You know, there's a fee for that because more people associate me with, you know,
Yeah.
just me than
That's
online
good.
social
Cool.
media.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
associate with
Sounded
the car
great.
dealership.
Exactly. That's dope.
That's how I got my car from the dealership.
How'd it feel? Good?
Yeah, it was fun.
Seemed very-
Great time.
Yeah. Very natural. You guys did great.
Cool, man.
Thank you. Yeah,
Not too much off the mic, so that was good. It's hard, you know, sometimes you're just like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
back on it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
My
dope,
first time
man.
Yeah.
I load that onto that little.
Did you grab a photo of all this stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
You gotta put that headset, so.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Got it. Got it for you.
Thanks, man.
And it was running on YouTube as well, so
Oh,
let's grab that, yeah. Yeah. So he's gonna relabel it and all that. It's just kind of chaotic. But
Yeah.
I just put regenerating the body with Devin Stone.
Sweet.
So.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this is a great format. That's why, You know, that's why I do this. This is why I do.
No, it's dope, bro. I like